that started with the previous lectures, the previous presentations. My presentation is about sustainable development, continuing the discussion about humanities, because sustainable development is closely related with humanities and the research in humanities. But I will speak about other things too, because natural sciences and finance, economic sciences are related a lot with sustainable development. But also I will talk about the sustainability of AI, having in mind that AI is needing a lot of resources, and we should ask whether this is sustainable or not. Of course, AI is here to live, is here to stay forever, actually, despite the problems that now exist. First part, I will try to be within a half an hour or 20 minutes presentation as scheduled. The first part is about sustainable development. I will go through some definitions about the subject, to the circular model for sustainable development, to how AI is connected with sustainable development goals, about economic growth, resource management, sustainability of environment and society, most of all, humanities sustainability. How to make AI to work for sustainable development, and also how to manage AI for societal benefit, governance, regulation, monitoring AI, research on performance and impacts of AI. This last is connecting us with the second part, which is the sustainability of AI. We all know what is AI, so I will be very fast in this. We know that we are talking about thinking machines, starting from Alan Turing and John MacArthur from Dartmouth College. The definition went to different parts, different directions. For instance, is the theory of development of computer systems that are able to perform normally tasks that are only appreciated as human intelligent tasks. So the thinking machines were very restricted, let's say. Now we are in the era that we try to mimic human intelligence, not simply thinking machines, but thinking machines with human intelligence like. Of course, this AI technology incorporates all computer science, data science, machine learning, robotics, computer vision, neural networks, including biological neural networks, and neuroscience, and of course, deep learning, reinforcement learning, and most of all, nowadays, the large language models. So it's what is the kind of intelligence that we want, not being possible in the era of Dartmouth College and John MacArthur, 70 years ago. We know that we need now, and from the beginning, to say the truth, to tell the truth, we need reasoning, and now there is improved reasoning. Knowledge representation is one of the most important things that started in artificial intelligence research from the beginning. And the initial knowledge representation was with expert systems, fuzzy expert systems, and so on. We need also classification, data analytics for prediction, planning, communication, this includes also language processing, big data, perception through all kinds of sensory data. As you understand, all these, including sensing, not only perception, is not only visual perception, is any kind of perception. And of course, together with this is planning. And what we say planning is not only planning in time, is planning policies. So connected to research in humanities, AI should offer and can offer new analysis for policies needed for sustainability, but not only sustainability, for everything. Policies for everything, based on classifications, perception, prediction analytics. So the principle is that we train models to a level of accuracy, I would say high. The models and the algorithms, especially for the deep learning, are of billion parameters, and this is connected with the second part of this talk. And therefore, decision making is based on huge models nowadays, models that require extensive training with all available data of humanity, if we want to answer all questions, and this needs a lot of resources. The prospects that are connected to SDG goals is that AI is connected with optimization tasks. So how we can optimize approaches and policies to SDG, to Sustainability Development Goals, efficiency and productivity everywhere. So AI is best for many things, better than any other technique of the past, and is clearly connected with the planning stage of any business, and not only business, of any organization, even of SDGs, because AI can help research and development in order to produce accurate forecasts of the market, but also of the future of organizations, and why not of humanity, why not of the planet. Production, but we will stay not in the extended planning stage, but we will stay on the market, business, and sustainability goals. The production stage, all phases of production can be optimized through AI, not only regarding productivity, but also maintenance, processes, and also efficiency in the production. Marketing stage, this is huge because it includes optimal personal marketing and promotion, marketing campaigns that take into account the profile of everyone, personalized marketing campaigns. And of course, there is also, regarding the market, the consumption stage is about user satisfaction, collection of data, user experience, in order to further expand the services, the quality of services provided to the users. All this is connected with sustainable development goals, as we will analyze. Of course, the private sector has been rapidly expanded and now is expanded due to AI tools and techniques. And all companies now invest for AI research and AI adaptation and adoption in their business. It started with 20 to 30 billion for research. Now, after 3 years, this number is number of 2021. After 5 years, we are tenfold increase in such research, and you know very well. We have big innovation. AI is connected with big innovation in industry, in organizations, in organization operation, but also in society and governance. So AI is not only for the private sector, it's also for the public sector and especially for the governments. As you understand, this is close, all this is closely connected to research in humanity. So governments, all governments now are using and are enabling and engaging societies to all applications of AI for improved performance and public welfare. All governments nowadays recognize what are the prospects and possibilities of using AI in order to enhance performance of government, and also concurrently we are talking about several and potential big risks, existential risks about humanity and societies because of AI. Why? Because uncontrollable AI might produce a lot of harms, a lot of dangers. I will tell you an example, just an example. They tried very recently, almost 6 months or 1 year ago, a simulation to manage with different AI models to manage cities. So digital cities, of course, with digital services and so on. What is the principle in this management? As I told, is decision making and new policies to manage the city. What they saw, what was the outcome of this publication? The outcome of the publication was that within 15 days, the best model, earlier the others, the city was destroyed. The city was destroyed because no service was provided. Service provision in a city means to manage correctly resources, production, consumption, and delivery of services. This proves to be very difficult for nowadays models. Very, very complex tasks are not for AI. Okay, it's okay for a publication, for paper writing, for assisting in simulations, etc. But for very large scale systems like societies, we don't have really the needed tools of AI in order to manage such extremely complex systems. We need, therefore, human intelligence there still, and the many years to come. No one could trust AI to manage a city, to manage a society. Although nowadays we use AI tools and we see the problems. Booking.com, huge organization, multi-billion, 27 billion per year, and there are many problems every day using AI tools without supervision. And the same happens with financial sector of the government and so on. If you don't have supervision of experts, you will be very shortly in big troubles. So this is the real prospects, moderate prospects. We love AI, but the prospects are moderate. It can make our life much easier, but with many risks, unless we supervise closely the AI performance and tools. So there is a circular model of technology. We talk about AI and sustainable development. So there is a circular model of technology for sustainable development. And this is, I will enlarge a bit, this could be the agents, AI agents, for sustainable development. So we should understand that we have two sectors, individuals and industries. And of course, the first thing is to have accessibility, and we need agents to facilitate access of individuals and industries with enhanced capacities and reduce costs. This is optimization of accessibility. Of course, apart from this accessibility to technology, we have the technological development. And the technological development is about productivity impact and prosperity impact. Productivity impact is about to enhance production and financial growth of all industries, individuals, etc. It's about also innovation. There is a big impact of AI in innovation, innovation to improve efficiency. But take care something. AI can bring innovation, but only incremental. By incremental, I mean we use previous techniques to improve the previous techniques a bit. It's not something fundamentally new. For instance, Einstein's general relativity, I can tell you the paper of 1915, the general relativity paper, didn't have any citation, any reference, because this was something from scratch, a completely new theory. AI does not have any potential for a brand new theory. It's only incremental innovation. Please take this into account in all your research. But also is the technological development about consumption, about the prosperity impact. So prosperity impact is connected with enhanced consumption, take into account the resources, etc., 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 and to improve leisure time. This is highly connected with SDGs, as we will see. But also, technological development goes to opportunity impact, to new opportunities. Because the AI and technology in general, I mean, but AI in particular too, it can drive structural change of economic sectors, public and private. And it can enhance digitalization, for instance. The nowadays technologies include mechanical engineering, robotics, AI, digitalization, chemical engineering. All this together connected can create many new opportunities for cross-fertilization of all sectors. And of course, you can see that there is a circular model because all this goes circularly. Governments, individuals, these are the opportunities, and from these opportunities we go to new accessibilities, to new tools, to new technologies, and to new prosperity, to new opportunities. This is what I mean circular model for sustainable development. So the technological development, including all issues of innovation and AI, you can see that key innovation technologies of the past, of course, goes the fire, the wheel, agricultural revolution, mechanics and industrialization, transport systems, the first train, let's say, technical revolution. All this was in the past centuries, and now we are talking not about the key innovation technologies that started the revolution, the industrial revolution, but you can see the industrial revolution was the first with trains, actually, and machines. The mass manufacturing, the second industrial revolution, the sharing of effort, not one person doing one thing, but many persons sharing the production, massive manufacturing. This computing technology also, starting from the 60s, the transistor and the computers, is the third industrial revolution about the computing technology. And artificial intelligence is, together with robotics, is the fifth, because the first part about digitalization was 4.0 around 2005. But now we are with robotics and AI in Industrial Revolution 5. You can see again the technological development impacts, productivity, accessibility, opportunity, and prosperity that we analyzed. I will not stay more. The productivity, you can see, however, from this transparency, you see the impacts, but now these impacts are connected with problems. And what are the major problems? Algorithmic bias for AI, algorithmic bias, it's not fairness. You don't have fair training sets. So these training sets are biased towards some information and not the global information. So the algorithmic bias is very problematic in sustainable development. Also, poor policy oversight. The policies, because of the algorithmic bias, the incomplete training, we have also biased policies. Skills bias of productivity. Again, bias in productivity. Also, inequality in wealth and distribution of wealth is closely connected with the algorithmic bias of the new systems. And therefore, all this part is closely connected with not as desired governance and regulation policies. So for sustainability, we need much better governance and regulation. And also the human capital, human resources are not correctly used. not with all potentials. Also, other problems is there is no equitability in access. We don't have all equal opportunities. Also, there is displacement of workers by the companies, by the governments, etc. But we should take into account that nowadays companies, because they have seen the failures of AI, they rehire. So humans will never be replaced by machines. So these are very important issues about the technologies of AI, of fifth industrial revolution, and what happens with the sustainability and sustainable development. So risks and many potentials. The SDG goals, 17 SDG goals, the main goals, include what you see in this transparency. We all know these goals about education, health, climate action, no poverty, all these issues. And what is the issue here is that the SDG agenda includes all these 17 main goals, because with all activities is more than 300. These SDG goals aim to facilitate better understanding for global development with fairness, fairness for all, wealth for all, equity in resources, in wealth, in health, in education. So we need to build pipelines all over the world in order to help, in order for AI, the regulated AI again, to help such implementation of such goals. So climate change is one of the most important issues in sustainable development, because we cannot continue the nowadays development without reducing climate's impact of carbon dioxide, and many other chemical factors. So we need clean power, smart transportation, if possible, electrical without any consumption of oil or chemicals, etc. Sustainable land use, smart cities and homes. By smart cities, I mean green cities. So in climate change, AI can offer a lot in all these parts, because clean power, of course, is connected with electricity, green, let's say, production of electricity and renewable energy resources. Is not only one technology, but AI can offer a lot in the management of the grid, of the smart grid. Also in smart transportation, we can use hybrid solutions with reduced gases and electricity, electric batteries, I mean. Again, the management in the machines can be smart with AI. Biodiversity is a big sustainable goal, because biodiversity should be protected. You know very well that half of the wildlife in Earth has been diminished, not to say fully disappeared, in the last 50 years, in half a century. So we cannot go like this. Clean air and weather and disaster that are connected with resilience, with prediction and forecasts about quality of air, about weather and risks of disaster. Of course, it's not only the weather, there are geological conditions also. All this with early warning systems can be managed. These were some of the most important, but equally important for humanities is these are connected to the environment, as you understand. I consider the environment the most important issue for sustainability for the planet, as you understand. This is the reason I do it first. And then we have 4, 3, and 8 sustainable goals, which is about quality education. This is for humanity sustainability, society sustainability, good health and well-being. Again, it's for one very important issue for sustainability of societies, for early diseases detection, for early diagnosis, because you know, late diagnosis means a lot of costs for the medical system. Better nursing, better hospital protocols. All these are connected with optimization of the medical system. Decent work and economic growth. Decent work means to reduce poverty, to increase jobs for all workers. This can be done with AI. Don't think that AI will replace. No, this is now. It happens in some companies, but not in general. AI offers opportunities for anyone. New services, new works, new jobs, new growth. Everything can be facilitated by AI and is not a disaster. It's a good assistance for all, for companies, governance, and humans. But we are in a transition period now, and you will see next years that workers are replaced. They are replaced because we keep services the same. But AI can make all services enhanced a lot. So we need new people there to supervise the new services by AI. So growth will be exponential, and increase on services, enhancement of services will be exponential. So don't believe the, let's say, the catastrophic theories that AI will do everything and will replace humans. It's impossible. Zero poverty and hunger, food supply chain management, food sustainability, all these are connected. Supply chain management is connected with truly with AI. I don't have time to go in depth, but from production to consumption, even with satellite imaging, even with any other tools, communication tools, etc., we can enhance a lot all the chain of production to consumption in order to cover all needs of the 8 billion people. There is no problem now in food supply. Actually, the problems are different. They come not for lack of food. We can have complex food production for all 8 billion people, but different issues of capitalism prohibit this at the moment. The climate action, we said a lot about this. Sustainable cities and communities with AI, collaboration tools, communications, green technology, and very good communication technology, decision-making, improved decision-making and governance, new policies on the fly, decision-making and policy on the fly. We don't spend a lot of time in decision-making through committees, meetings, endless meetings. We can be fast. So sustainability is gaining a lot. But also the clean energy, we discussed about this, the life on land and under the water, clean water, clean oceans. Robots can clean oceans. Clean water and sanitation, not only for humans, for all beings. Because, my friends, the water in Earth is the same for thousands and millions of years. So we recycle this water. But in order to recycle, as you understand, we should clean. We should clean and have sanitation to water in order to be used, because if the water, which is the same again, all right, if it's not sanitated, if it's not clean, then life is not sustainable. So in all this, with robotics, satellite imaging for detection of problems, all this can be facilitated a lot. So making AI, and I'm finishing shortly, AI can facilitate a lot, all 17 goals and all 300 actions by the world nations. Economic growth and human capital development. The enabler, how this is enabled by AI, is due to entrepreneurial strengths, technical expertise. This can enable a lot new AI technologies. We have technical experts. They are in demand, of course, and strong entrepreneurial strengths all over the world. USA, China, India, and Europe can produce through entrepreneurial strength new technologies. But the disruption is because of displacement of labor. Losing labor, losing workers, it might make it difficult to have the new services. It might make it difficult to supervise. Equitable distribution of prosperity, social security, health, and all this. The enable button, let's say, is the social security. If the policy of social security exists, AI will do this. AI will facilitate. But take into account, very recently, Donald Trump in USA demands a new policy that people over 65 should be out of the medical system. This is not social security. So how AI to help? The disruption, therefore, is the increasing inequality. You know, I know, we all know that we live in the capitalism of billionaires. So increased inequality. And I finalize my presentation with some facts that AI models, we know the machine learning process with hard training and then testing is very huge energy consumer. In order to see this consumption, you can see that the data centers, you can see in terawatts hours. You can see that data centers consume much more than South Africa, Egypt, Argentina, Colombia. It's over consumption of energy and water from countries. We are talking about and comparable to UK, to the whole energy and water needed, clean water needed. It's a paper of 2023. And this is my final transparency in order to conclude. You can see also something special, the consumption and production of carbon dioxide. You can see the carbon dioxide with the new billion parameters. You can see is 175 billion parameters, the GPT-5. Look what is the production in tons of carbon dioxide. This was in 2022, last data that we have. You can see the other models, smaller models, as you can see, with smaller number of parameters, they don't have such a consumption. Take into account that unfortunately, any search, you can see what dioxide of carbon produces. Any query produces 0.2 grams of carbon dioxide. Billion queries per day. Can you imagine what is the amount of tons? So large language models and data centers are beautiful, are very innovative. They can help innovation and sustainability, but they are not sustainable because if we have, apart from the 193 countries or 200 countries, we have another big country consuming everything about water and electricity, etc., you understand that will not go well. So we need shorter models and more improved than the large language models. It's an active research in any case. So thank you very much for your attention. You understand that the potentials are big, but the risks may be bigger.